Hey, this is Tom. Forgive the appearance. I'm sitting here at 2:35 in the afternoon on a work day, weekday. Um, and you can do this stuff if you know how to market online. I just want to do a quick tutorial here. I'm going to have a screen capture in a moment, and it's basically just a screen capture of a text file I have. And I'm going to go through different things here. Now, you may or may not know these things. If you know them already, great. You don't need it. Or maybe there's a few things you didn't think about. Now, this is high level, okay? I'm not going into super grainy detail on every little topic here. Those are more suited to having their own videos, okay? There's a lot of information out there about this. I may do some of my own. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, I wanted to give a high level on some of this stuff, okay? And basically, it talks about how to market. Now, this is marketing MCA, but honestly, this works for anything. This basically holds true for no matter what you're marketing online. It doesn't matter, okay? So I'm also going to tag this video for other things, but for MCA, that's specifically what I'm promoting right now, and I want to appeal to MCA people, especially, honestly, especially to people who are investigating whether they want to market MCA. Okay, because those are the people I want to join my team. If you're already into MCA, you can't join my team. But hey, if you can get something out of this, great, right? We should all kind of be in this together, right? Even if we're not on the same team. And you need to provide some value to people out there, regardless of whether you have a possibility of, selling to them or not. You know what I mean? We all should be generous in that way. I've learned a lot of this stuff online and through the School of Hard Knocks, and also from buying lots of guru courses, and also, just doing it and knowing that it works. So take it for what it's worth. And I've also worked in technology a long time. I've worked in software companies. I've worked in IT and software quality assurance. I've worked as a system administrator. I've worked for actual enterprise software companies, including Hewlett Packard. So I kind of know a little bit about technology. I'm not saying that I'm the top of the line here, but I know a lot. I know what I know. And I've done a lot of things in Unix, Windows, VMware, operating systems, software, servers, data center, the whole deal, quality assurance, testing software. So I know a lot about software, internet, and all these technical things. I could build blogs like that, real hosted blogs on WordPress, hook them up to domain hosting accounts, the whole deal. I have lots of that experience. I could do it in my sleep practically. So if you're somebody who doesn't know any of this stuff, maybe you want to align with someone like me. You can learn something, and we could mutually work together. So if you want to join the team of somebody who's really technical like that, I'll have a link below that sends you to one of my lead collection sites. Just opt in, and then we'll talk. So anyway, here goes. Here's the tutorial part of it. Okay. Hi, how you doing? I wanted to go over a few things here, especially if you're marketing MCA, but this actually works for lots of different things. First off, marketing MCA the internet marketing way. Now, a lot of you who are either new with MCA, or maybe you're just investigating whether or not to get into MCA. There's different ways to market anything, right? One is just sharing the opportunity with people. You can share any opportunity with any number of people, and it doesn't mean that they're going to go for it. And honestly, you have no idea whether or not they even looked at it in most cases. You can send someone a link. They can even tell you they looked at it, but what proof do you have? So actually, if you go down the second half of my list here, marketing without lead capture autoresponder, right? It's hit or miss. You're drifting around and you have no idea how effective your marketing is. Okay, so I probably should have put that on the top, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. So over here, the internet marketing way. Okay, first off, you need a website. Now, There's several options. You can have your own website that you build yourself. You can have a free website out there. There's several companies that allow you to do a free website. They have website builders, and they will host the page or site for you. Um, but or you could build your own and host it yourself. There's all different ways to do this. Now, when you're using a free service, you generally have a subdomain or a slash username on your the website address. Okay, so like for example, say you want to call your business MCA info, right? So in this case, it'd be MCA info dot whatever the domain is of the person giving you that website. Okay, so it wouldn't be totally your domain, or it might be whatever their domain is slash MCA info. And that's probably the least effective or something you want to avoid, because most people don't put the slash name when you give them a URL. They're lazy and they'll never get to your site. Another thing is you could either attach your own domain name to it, okay, which means you have to buy a domain name, a .com or whatever, and then you have to and see if this method you're using, whatever you're using to host your web page, allows you to hook a domain name up to it. Another option is you can redirect and cloak. In other words, you can have your own web area that's yours, like a web hosting account, and you can have a little HTML file that basically encapsulates the link you're sending people to and basically cloaks and redirects it so that you have your domain at the top, and then the rest of the page is on the bottom, so they don't see the other company's domain name. I know how to do all this stuff, by the way. I'm not showing exactly how to do that here. I'm just speaking about it, just to give you ideas as to what things you may need to do. Okay? I can actually show you how to do this. It's pretty easy. So I'm also an ex-system administrator and a technical guy. I've worked in technology companies my whole career before this, so I happen to know a lot about this. So another thing you want to consider is tracking and rotating. Now, what's that? Tracking links. There are several services out there, and it's not free, but it's minimal cost. You can get trck.me website. You can get as little as $10 a month. Basically, you create a bunch of tracking links, and you hook them up to your real links. So what you do is, say you want to send people to a certain page, or you want to send a certain audience to a certain page. In other words, say you're doing a YouTube video and you want to just track who's coming from that video or from YouTube in general to that link. You will set up a tracking link to forward to your, where you want people to go. And then you will be able to tell on your tracking console how many hits daily that tracking link is getting from that source location, like say YouTube or something. It gives you an idea of how effective your marketing is, how many people are being exposed to and clicking on the links from that source, that content that you're creating to send people to your offer. And rotating is another thing. It kind of goes hand in hand with tracking. Rotating is when, say you have that tracking link and now you hook up multiple destinations to it. Say you're testing different tracking, different landing pages. You want to see which one is more effective. Say one has a video, one has a picture, or they're completely different in design. You can have a rotator so that you set up your tracking rotating link, and now you just send people to that. And what happens is the rotator will evenly split people among however many landing pages or sites you are testing for their effectiveness. So say 10 people go to this link. If you have two landing pages or sites that you're testing, it'll basically split it up 5 apiece. If it's more than 2, then it'll split it up that way, So you'll be able to tell which ones convert the best. You'll see where your conversions are coming from, and then when you have a site that's doing better, converting better, you can then go back in and adjust your rotator so that you're only sending people to the highest performing landing page, thus increasing your conversion rate. It's pretty simple when you think about it, but very effective. So do you send people to your website first or to a lead capture page? That's another thing. It may depend on the audience you're trying to appeal to. you, you know, internet marketing people would say lead capture is the best, because basically this is the way it is. You want to capture that person's email address at the very least, because most people don't sign up the first time they see something. So you can then follow up with emails if they provide their email address into your it goes into your autoresponder. That's the next thing under their autoresponder. And what happens is you can then send follow-up emails to them until they unsubscribe. And sometimes you will get sales. So many times you'll get sales that way through people being re-exposed to the opportunity over and over. And if they really don't want to be bothered, they'll cancel. They'll unsubscribe. But if you never do that in the first place, then you get one shot and that's it. You know, it's a one-shot deal, and that's it. You never know if they went to the offer. You never know what they did, and you never see them again if they don't actually buy on the first try. So you may want to consider that. Again, it depends on your audience, you know, and also depends whether you're buying leads or not. If you're doing paid advertising, you definitely want to use lead capture, because if you're paying for those potential leads, you want their email address. If it's free traffic, it's really up to you which way you want to do it. Depending on the audience you're looking at, you know, maybe they'll be less likely to supply an email address or opt into a lead capture page, in which case you may want to just send them to your website and, you know, say it's potluck. You know, whoever you get, you get. If you don't, you don't. So really, you just have to ponder that and think about what you want to do. So now the next is an autoresponder, which goes hand in hand with that. An autoresponder is basically a service that allows you to capture people's email addresses and then send them follow-ups. Okay, so you use that. You use forms embedded in lead capture pages. You can capture their name, address, phone number, whatever you want. Usually email is the minimum and the best, because the least amount of info you try to get from someone is it's more likely they'll actually opt in. The more information you want, it gets harder and harder. Like if you want somebody's phone number, chances are they may not even sign up. They don't want to, because they don't want to get phone calls, you know. So now leads, where are they? There's lots of places. Like I said, there's paid or free traffic. So there's paid and free traffic. These I'm looking at right now are free. And that's what most people, at least in the beginning, are going to focus on. You know, if you don't know anything about paid traffic, you can take a bath on that and lose a lot of money. So you need to step in with your toe and really understand and learn how that works before I would recommend going paid traffic. So for free traffic, it's basically your work. Okay, you need to create content, and you need to learn about keyword research, content and keyword research. The keyword research lets you know what people are searching on, and you basically embed that type of information into your content in a skillful manner, and that will draw, you know, your content will more likely show up in web searches and searches on the specific sites you're creating content on. Like, for example, if you're doing YouTube videos, you need to have tags and descriptions that have the keywords that people are searching for, and you have to know what keywords people are searching for so you can possibly get the most views. Your content, your videos will show up in the searches. Now, they don't show up at the top of the search right away, because your video needs to age, mature, get some views, maybe some interaction before it climbs up in the rankings. Okay, you're not going to rank at the top right away. There are things you can do to increase your chances there. You can go for maybe keywords that are less used but still get searches and reach those people first. It's called low-hanging fruit. You just have to keep at it, okay? There's lots of videos out there that teach you how to do this. I'm probably going to have other videos. I can't put everything in one because then it gets crazy. Another is articles, which is article directories like Go Articles or EzineArticles.com. You create articles. You got to be careful though, because a lot of these directories don't want blatant sales advertisements. So if you're going to be advertising MCA, you may want to talk about other things like roadside assistance or general business ops, but not mentioning MCA in the article, and just have your link at the bottom in your author box. Otherwise, a lot of times, especially on e-zine these days, it will not get approved. There's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. These are social media. The social media, you got to build up a following in Twitter. Facebook, it depends on who your friends are. Is it mostly marketing friends? Do you have more than one Facebook account? Most people don't know this. Facebook only allows one account per person, although many people have multiple accounts. So if you have multiple Facebook accounts, you're violating their terms of service, but most people do it anyway. Instagram is another great thing. It's an app on the phone for pictures. A lot of people market through Instagram. They build up massive follower bases, and then they send out their offers or talk about how much money they're making. Okay, so now we're on to classified ads. Classified ads, there's all kinds of sites that do classifieds. You have to figure out now which ones are the ones to use, because some of them you need to be a big business or to place their paid ads, and a lot of people want to stay away from paid ads in the beginning because they don't know how effective their advertising is going to be, or they don't have an ad budget. It can get expensive. There's lots of free small classifieds out there. They may not be as effective as the big ones. The big one is Craigslist, but you got to be careful because Craigslist does not allow BizOps. So you have to be creative. And the other thing is, flagging is a big problem on Craigslist. People will flag your ads immediately. Competitors will do it. People who are, Craigslist has their own algorithms that go out there and look for BizOp ads and flag them. There's an algorithm. There's a definite strategy to Craigslist, because I'm telling you, you place an ad on Craigslist in the jobs section or whatever to try to get people to your MCA offer or to call you about it, and chances are it will be flagged within 15 minutes of going live by someone. Okay, there's all kinds of people who flag these things, as well as the automated flagging, and your ad will be ghosted and no one will see it, and that's it. It's gone, essentially, or it's removed. So there are ways to keep your Craigslist ad live. Most of it involves you may have to invest in a VPN software, about $10 a month, a service that you can change your IP address constantly, and you can clear your cookies on your browser, your cache and cookies, and you can basically refresh and view your ad constantly as if lots of people are viewing it. Seems that the current Craigslist algorithm, and they can change this at any time, looks for how many views are made on an ad without it being flagged. So like if your ad gets viewed, say 50 or 60 times by you pretending to be other people, those are clear views where people viewed it without flagging it. So then if somebody comes along and flags it, the algorithm basically says, well, wait, 60 other people saw this thing and didn't flag it, so it's probably shouldn't be flagged by only one person flagging it. But yet if nobody did that, or it's got no views, and someone comes along and flags it immediately, it's going to get nuked, okay? There's also, you can do the whole best of Craigslist thing where you clear your cache and cookies, change your IP address, flag your video as best of Craigslist, which is basically an upvote, and do that periodically so that not only do you get the views, but you're getting some best of Craigslist positive flagging, I call it, and your ad's more likely to stay live. It does require a lot more work, especially if you're placing lots of ads. You can find videos on this. And there's other classified sites as well, like Backpages and other sites. But like I said, some sites like, eBay Classifieds, forget it. I mean, I don't know how to keep an ad like this live on that site. You've got to be really, really creative. You've got to make it look like a regular job, and then you run into the problem of people who are actual job seekers looking for the regular 9 to 5 are going to contact you, and then they're going to see that, oh, this isn't a regular job, and they may complain about your ad. you know, you got to be creative, and you can't take rejection seriously, and you got to let it roll off you. Okay, um, it's a numbers game. There's document sites. There's document sites out there like DocStock and sites like that where you can create basically articles about and point them back to your landing pages. That's these all these different sites. They rank pretty well in Google for keywords. So the document sites, for example, if you're doing a blog post on one of your blog isn't really going to rank in Google unless you've got some serious backlinks to it, right? But these sites are generally really good, so they're going to rank pretty well. They've got what they call page rank and domain rank. So document sites, press releases will rank pretty well in Google. So basically what you're trying to do is you're looking for your keyword research. So when people are looking for things like MCA and business opportunities and work from home and all these different keywords, you want your things to come up. You want your content here that you're creating to come up in a variety of these searches, okay? And you've got to use a plethora of things here so that you're always out there, okay? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, okay? This isn't a push button, you're going to be making $1 million in a week thing. So if that's what you were sold, they lied to you, okay? They lied to you. People used all this crazy marketing. Look, you can do this, okay? But you got to work, okay? There's no free rides. So if you want a free ride and you want free money, go play the lottery. You want guaranteed money, go get a job, but the job's not going to pay you what you need, so you're kind of stuck there, right? So you do all these things: press releases, blogs, SEO is search engine optimization, which basically plays into keyword research. And then there's flyers, cards, etc. for offline. Basically, maybe you send them to a phone number, something like that. You could also send them to a website. So you can, say, drop flyers and cards and, like, say, local businesses and send them to a website. So in this case, you're sending people offline to offline, your phone. And this, you're sending offline people to online, website, social media page, you know, like a Facebook group, something like that. You know, the offline thing is hit or miss, but you might get some leads that way. So if you've got the time and the inclination, do it. It can't hurt, right? There's lots of flyers out there for MCA you could have printed. You could print yourself. You could design yourself. You can buy the designs, bring them to a place like Staples or Kinko's or someplace and have them printed out in beautiful full color, especially the tear-off tab flyers. So anyway, I'm going to, let's see what we're talking about next. All right, so there you go. You got the gist of that, I hope. I had to do that in 2 segments and paste it together. So, you know, we went through all of that. Now, you know, you may not know the tracking, rotating thing. That's really actually very easy, and don't discount the tracking. I did for a long time to my detriment. And the rotating thing is really cool because you can test multiple landing pages or sites effectiveness that way by sending equal amounts of people to these pages. And when you send equal amounts of people to these pages, trying to say that before I was interrupted, was when you send equal amount of people to these different landing pages or sites, you get to test, you know, whether or not they convert well or they take leads in, because you'll get to see, you know, which ones work better. And then what happens is when you get, say, one that works a lot better than the rest, you then can funnel all of the, you basically tell the rotator you delete the other sites from that and just send them to the one that converts the best, so that you get a higher conversion rate for all of your traffic that you're sending to it. Okay, so I think that's about that. Let me see here. So I'm just looking at this real quick. Yeah, I think that's about it for now. Sorry, I tried to make this video and I couldn't do it in one shot. I get interruptions. You know, my wife walks in from the store, starts calling my name, baby starts crying, whatever. So how many hours later I come back to just sew it up with this video here. That's just what it is. But the great thing is you can throw all these things together using a video editing app and make one somewhat coherent video out of all the pieces later on. I'm on a PC, so I'm using Windows Live Movie Maker for that. It's actually pretty good, and I've got the HP Media Smart Webcam for my webcam parts. And then I use this other app. I can't remember the name of it. It's not listed here. It pops out a little camera. I forget the name of it. And that thing I use to do the screen capture part of it. That's that. You just use whatever tools you have, and that's that. So anyway, just to close out, it's late here now. What is it? It's like 1:56 a.m. when I'm trying to wrap this up. I did that this afternoon. So anyway, yeah, so I wanted to put all that stuff together for you, just in somewhat of a list, try to bring it all together and say, this is kind of what you have to do to market anything online, particularly in this case, MCA, Motor Club of America. If you want to market online, you've got to hit on all these things, and there's probably other things too that you can hit on. You know, I mean, be creative. There's other social sites, there's other ad sites, you know. I didn't go into the classified ads, you know, the different things too much, but you know, like I said, there's all these different things, and there's lots of other Web 2.0 sites. And you know, when you do blogs, you could do your own hosted blog, but you can also do free WordPress blogs and free Blogger blogs and hub pages, and you know, all these different, you know, Tumblr, you know, all these different Web 2.0 sites. So you build almost like a lattice work or of sites, gathering strength for your keywords that you're targeting, and kind of send them around to all your different, you know, the different accounts you have on these things. And, you know, you could create some SEO that way, and some momentum behind your work, almost like a snowball going downhill and getting bigger and bigger. You know, paid advertising is still the best, but of course you need to have a budget for that, and that can be a complete thing all on its own. But yeah, paid advertising is the best. If you could do paid advertising and you could find ad agencies with buyer traffic, good high quality traffic, then you can really do something there. And if you know how to advertise on certain sites where you can hit, like say you could advertise on big high traffic sites like you know, CNN.com, Fox News, things like that. Like say for example, you want to market a golf program, and you want you can advertise on say something like ESPN or Fox Sports or something like that. Maybe even in the golf section. You know, there's certain agencies online that you can do that, and you can also target platforms like mobile and etc. So it gets really complicated, and that, you know, deserves its own complete video. But here I was trying to focus on mostly the free stuff, because let's face it, most people that get into marketing, MCA, and a lot of these things online are people who, you know, really need to make money, and they don't have an ad budget, so they're going to need to go in there and try to generate free, you know, stuff on free sources like that. YouTube is one of the best because it's a high traffic site. As you can see, I'm doing a YouTube video now. There's Dailymotion, there's Vimeo, there's all these different video sites out there, not just YouTube. YouTube's the biggest though, you can't ignore that. And right on down the list, right into the social media and everything. So anyway, I'm going to stop now because I'm just going to repeating everything I already went through. So anyway, I hope some of this might have helped out a bit, at least to gather your thoughts and to maybe help you start to think about creating a marketing strategy for MCA or anything else you're trying to market. And, you know, with time, consistency, and dedication and steady work, you should be able to build up enough content out there and enough momentum behind buyer keywords to appeal to enough people to bring them into your offer so they can at least consider it. And, you know, it's a numbers game out there. You know, a lot of people are going to look and they're not going to buy. They're not going to join. A lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to see, you know, I know what I'm talking about, this and that. They're going to come to my page. They may or may not, you know, enter the lead capture to be forwarded on to wherever. And some will, some won't. Some will go and be forwarded, but then not do anything with it. It's a numbers game, and then a certain subset of people will actually go through the whole thing and say, "Oh wow, this is great! I'm gonna join this guy because he really knows what he's talking about." It's like that with everything. I mean, if everybody bought, we'd all be rich, right? We'd all be super successful online, and that also helps to weed people out in a way, because a lot of people get discouraged when they're not making $1 million in a week, and they leave the game. So don't get discouraged. Keep it up. Take action every day. Be dedicated. Just never give up. Keep at it, and keep learning and pushing forward, and eventually you'll get it. All right. So anyway, I hope this was good. See my link below. Later.